Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close. Oh boy, um, we got a red day on the market. Very interesting red day for sure. Mostly powered by a little bit of a retreat in materials and oil. And, well, it seems like the tensions, as we've been looking at the whole US-Iran situation, the heat's been pretty high on it, and that certainly has pushed more money into, of course, gold. But there's a bit more talking going on now, and it's not looking imminent. So we have seen a little bit of a pullback, and that has hit materials. It's pulled the Canadian market down, but we're going to look at the markets in a moment. Before I do all of that, I want to do the daily spin. So for those of you who don't know, Wealthsimple currently has a contest. I believe it's running till the end of this month. And you can spin a gold coin every day, a virtual gold coin, of course, and win entrees. Yeah, they're going to give you food. Here you go. You can win entries into a contest. They're giving away 15 gold coins at the end. I think it's right around the end of the month, early March. And, well, you can win anywhere from 1 to 100,000 entries each day by spinning a little gold coin. That's right down there at the bottom of your Wealthsimple. I've been doing it on the air. Now, I will tell you, yesterday, I got 10. A day, it was the one day where I wasn't live, and I'm like, let's see some big numbers, and then I can screenshot it and put it over there on the Discord. But nope, I got a 10. Well, let's see what I get today. Here we go. We are spinning. And what do we got? 180? Oh my gosh. I am not having the greatest luck. My highest to date has been 190. But yeah. Well, you know what? It only takes one entry to win a coin. So I'm going to keep doing it. I'll keep sharing it. If you have not yet hooked yourself up with Wealthsimple, well, let me hook you up here. Let me do this. Wealthsimple, there we go. Grab this affiliate link. Click on it. Go on over. Sign up. Once you fund your account, they're going to give you 25 bucks. Going to send me 25 as well. And that goes, of course, to supporting the channel and all of the fun that we have here. So it's a huge win-win. Plus, you can start spinning that coin. Get some entries, because if you win a gold coin, I think the 15 coins together are worth about 100,000. So, do the math. It's still worth quite a bit of money. So here's your chance to get your own physical coin. I wonder if they can give us a virtual one too. I would rather the virtual one. It's like just dump the cash in my Wealthsimple. I'll be happy with that. But I need to do some better spinning if I want to win. That's for sure. Oh boy. All right. Let's get to the market. We'll start off with the, oh boy, I do not. Oh, that's why I didn't switch my scene. I just went and shared it on my main screen. All right. Looking at the TSX, as you can see, right now we're down 0.57%. We've had a bit of recovery in the afternoon. It's mostly, you can see this big red candle. We kind of started the day heading down. Interestingly enough, we did have our inflation report drop today too. So I was hoping that might help the market a little bit, because inflation has come down. It dropped down to 2.3%, which is actually better than expected. We were expecting 2.4%. So that was definitely a good thing. Although, oh boy, if you like to eat, well, in January, food inflation was up I believe it was 7.2%. That's a lot. That's a lot. Let's hope we can get foodflation under control. But even though inflation came down, the grocery book, the grocery bill hits everybody. It hits everybody for sure. So, yeah, looking here, TSX. Now, we are still in a green February. That blue line there, that's where we entered the month. We're still holding above it. We're still holding. I hope we hold a lot longer. Now, the U.S., here we go. The S&P 500, now they are in red territory for the month, but they are slightly to the green for the day. 0.09, 0.09. An interesting story that I think is developing. So we've talked a lot about the fear, like the fear of AI, how it's impacting software. There's also fears around what's going to happen to the job market. What's going to happen when the jobs start disappearing. There's a lot of fear. Now, it seemed to at least be lessening up a little bit. Now, this morning, there was a bit of a drop initially with tech. Tech seemed to be going down. I didn't feel like it was going to go far. So, I and I think I was right because it did turn around. Tech has moved back up a little bit. The NASDAQ is down though right now. And here, let me pull up the NASDAQ right here. So the NASDAQ is currently down 0.05, but you can see here, this green in here, here was the recovery. So here was the initial down, bang, boom. You can see it right in here. And then, lo and behold, it turned right around. We got a lot of movement back to the upside. And we're going to see what this looks like when we get to that wasn't proper English, was it? When we get to those heat maps. All right. And here is our Dow Jones Industrial. They're up 0.02%, so pretty flat day. Same kind of story, down, up, all of that fun stuff together. They are, though, in green territory for the month. They are well above the blue line. And the Russell also. So the Russell, those are the small caps. Those are the small caps. They're having not a bad day. They're up 0.19. Now, I mentioned commodities, and here we go. Let's take a look here. Gold down 3.3%. Silver down 5.19, 5.21 now. It went down a little bit as we were talking. Copper 1.32% down. Platinum 2.41% down. And oil 2.17% down. And you can see it all was the start of the day. The start of the day was kind of like, it was kind of like the main catalyst. Things are kind of calming out now. And this actually spells good news for tomorrow. So we'll talk a bit more about tomorrow as we move ahead. Crypto also down today. We got Bitcoin down 1.89, Ethereum down 0.32. Heading to the heat map, heading to the good old heat map, you can see right in the middle our energy and our basically our non-energy minerals and our energy minerals. So basically, gold and oil, both suffering pretty badly today. Barrick Gold there down 3.09. Franco-Nevada down 1.46. Cameco is up though. There we go. Uranium, I guess uranium having a good day compared to everybody else. Also looking at oils, Canadian Natural Resources down 0.62, Imperial Oil down 2.19, Suncor down. Even our pipelines are actually suffering a little bit today. Like, look at this, Enbridge down 4.3 and Pembina down 1.59. Our railroads are doing okay. CNR continues in this recovery that we've seen of late. They're up 1.07%. And the banks not too bad. They're mostly up. TD up a little bit. Royal Bank, BMO, CIBC. Yeah. I think they're all up. Other than National Bank. National Bank down 1.24. All right. Looking at the U.S., and this is kind of the part of the story that we're looking at. So, as I mentioned, we saw a little bit of recovery in tech, and some of it stuck. So, for example, you can see NVIDIA currently up 1.11, Apple up 3.09, Broadcom up 2.82. And the other interesting thing with Apple, guys, so if you remember last week we had that other catalyst. We had that whole everybody buying Mac Minis so that they could put the Clawbot on it, well, which became Moltbot. And now, over the weekend, OpenAI has kind of acquired all of that. So the guy who was running it, the developer, OpenAI actually has now brought him on board. So a lot of that might be getting integrated into OpenAI, and you might even see some of it showing up on ChatGPT. it's AI is an evolving thing for sure. It's definitely crazy, but oh boy, Tesla today down 1.71. Also, Microsoft down and Google. Also, well, Meta a tiny bit. So definitely getting a whole bunch of interesting things for sure. What can I say? What can I say? And looking at crypto, as I mentioned, we've got mostly red. Ethereum looks up, but guys, the heat map actually uses a time zone. I believe it's the prime meridian when they're calculating it. So these are sometimes a little bit off from the main chart, but it is a red day. So I there's about 15,000 of these crypto coins out there. That's a lot. That's a lot. I like to just grab one that's having the opposite day of the market. In fact, let's grab this one. Let's see what we got. And we have, you can see the skull, but you're like, Candace, your head is in the way. I can fix that. Let's just move me to the middle. There we go. We've got Pirate Nation. Holy banana bread. Okay, I like the name of this one. This one's around. It's worth, well, it's worth 0.7, basically 0.7 of a penny. It's almost worth a penny. You got your skull. We're missing the bones, so we don't have a full Jolly Roger on. But this one, it's hard to argue with. Oh boy, I can't believe I did that, but I did. I don't know what this is. Is this something that pirates use? Is this something that fans of pirates use? Is this about music sharing? I just don't know. It could be anything, and I'm not going to walk the plank on this one, guys. I just won't. This is kind of crazy. So I look at it this way. If you're interested in Pirate Nation, well, be sure to do your homework. Be sure to do your due diligence. Read the white paper. Maybe check out the developers on the social medias and see what it's all about before you sunk. Before you sunk any of your, that's almost as I guess before you sink. I was trying to do it pirate-like, but before you sink any of your money, because you might just be burying it on Oak Island. We don't know where it's going. So just, yeah, avoid this one. Avoid this one, guys. There is money to be made in crypto. It's probably not with a crap coin. And I call them crap because it's like going to the crap table and throwing your dice. It's not in your favor. And mostly not with these coins. You can make money in Bitcoin, perhaps not from a pirate. I would recommend you stick with the big coins. So your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin. All right. Whew. There we go. Now that we've got through the beginning preamble, let's fix that. There we go. We're back to Big Me, and we're hitting the chat. We will start off with Lance, who's in the house, saying, good afternoon, all. Today was a buy the dip day. It sure was. Oh, by the way, guys, if you're a channel member, we got office hours tonight, 7 p.m. I'll be here for an hour. Like I said, it's the chill stream. It's the chill stream. We'll talk about whatever. If no one shows up, I'll play games for an hour. I don't care. We're going to just have fun. Claude is up next with a hello. And Brian says, good afternoon, everyone. 40,000. Brian, you should be doing the stream. Because that would be exciting. That would be exciting TV or exciting video or whatever. What do we call this? I mean, if you're watching this on your TV, we would call this exciting TV. But if you're watching it on your phone, it's technically not exciting TV. It's exciting phone time. I don't know. We'll go with whatever. Yeah, 40,000. Congratulations. That's really good. That is really good. Yeah, Claude says the same thing. Stan is in the house with a good afternoon, all. Greetings to one and all. Oh, you know what? I do need to do something here, guys. I I need to turn on the night bot because we are opening up the show. We're opening it up for a Thursday show. So by the end of this one, the Financial Express. So we started this back in December. So every single non-scheduled show. So we have a scheduled show. Normal market close happens every Wednesday. So that's normally what we did one of these a week. Starting December 1st, we started the Financial Express as our holiday event. And it has not stopped. So every show we have the opportunity to add another show. And to do that, we got either 4 supers, 4 gifted subs, or a combination, whichever. It's cool. This here will be for Thursday. We're opening it up for the Thursday. We already have a show tomorrow. In fact, we have 2 shows tomorrow. We have our regular market close, and oh boy, we have our 10,000 second show that'll be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you notice behind me, there's actually stuff on the wheel now. I filled in the wheel. I'm going to test it out and see. I want to use the wheel because, well, Jill bought it, so I want to use it. I think you guys will be able to read it. Now, the one problem is, and this is the one argument I had, is like if I use an online one, I can just remove each one after we've done it because there's 10 and we're going to do 10. But what we'll do is we'll use this one. We'll use the physical one. Why not? Physical. And if we hit the same one again, we'll just respin. We'll try that. We'll give that a whirl. I'll do a test. I'm gonna do a little test run. You know what? Maybe tonight we'll do a test run with it on the office hours. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, worst case scenario, I can just pull together the online one. So we got lots of options. All right. Abby is in the house with a good afternoon, all. Big says, yeehaw, I made it to the live. Hi, all. Well, I'm glad you made it. Lance got 150 today. Very cool. Brian, I bought a little CPCC and a little GLCC today. Nice. Samantha's in the house with a hello, all. We got hi from the Epic Coder. And Zyborg says, cheers all, 40 spins going full on Lambo. Nice. Yep, and this is one thing I don't know. If you get drawn to win one of those coins, can you win it again? If you got enough entries, technically they could draw your name for all 15. I don't think they're going to let you. I think you're only allowed to win one, but I don't know. I haven't actually read the full rules, but I probably should. Steve is in the house. Let's see. The most I have spun in a day is 170 until today when I got 60,000. What is this? Is everybody? My chances of winning keep going down. Keep going down. Congratulations, Steve. That's awesome. 60,000. Holy banana bread. Let's see, Brian says, my daughter got 20,000 last week. So, of course, when I got 40,000, I showed her with the caption, is that all you got? I love it. I love it. Good afternoon, says Paul. And let's see, nice. And Steve was like, I was shocked. I'm probably going to squeal. If we get 100,000 on the air, guys, I will probably make some noises. It'll be fun to watch. Scott says, food inflation increases the amount of air you get in potato chip bags. Yeah. I think that type of inflation is called shrinkflation. And that's been going on a long time. I remember when I was a kid, I used to complain about how much air was in a bag of potato chips. And it's worse. It's worse now. Wahipple is in the house with a hey, made it. And we got Mary in the house with a hello all. And guys, Mary is our official captain of the like button. So you got to hit it. If you haven't hit that like button, just give it a good old click right now. Turn it blue. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to have some coffee. And at this point, we're early. Let's see. I'm actually going to take a look and see where we are. Just got the test box right over there. And we're sitting at 25. 20. Oh, guys, we can double that easily. So let's do that. Let's get that to 50. And we'll check in on the like button in a little bit. You guys know I'm going to complain about that like button until we get to 70. But no, we don't even have 70 people here yet. So it's too early to be saying, give me 70. Wah Hipple. Hey, Mary, hit the like on my way in. And there you go. Wah Hipple just got a bunch of thumbs up from Mary. Mary might be an octopus because that's more than 2 thumbs. Um, Paul says, in my TFSA, my CDRs are all up today. Nice, except for the Tesla, which is down. So there we go. So you got your Amazon, your Broadcom, your Nvidia, your Palantir. Lovely. Roku says, hello, me 190, spouse 10. Yesterday, me 160. Oh, your spouse got 100,000. Oh boy, Roku. I want to come to your house tomorrow and spin next to you, Roku, to see if I can get 100,000. I love it. Congratulations to your spouse. Wah Hipple, I rotated back into foreign mining this morning. Okay. All right. And Tom said, just want to say not to completely trust Wealthsimple. The profits from my swing trades were off. They said they are elevating it to find out what happened. These problems with Wealthsimple are not new to me. That's weird. I got to say, though, I have not, my swing trading, it's all happening in National Bank. I've never done it with Wealthsimple. So definitely pay attention. Now, I would also make sure, too, that when you're trading, no matter which platform you're using, make sure you kind of got a general idea on bid ask. Because if you're not looking at the bid ask, if you're just looking at that price, you can also be off. But Tom is pretty seasoned, so I'm pretty confident that Tom knows which one to look at. But yeah, oh boy. Wah Hippo, Pirate Nation going to pillage you. Oh, maybe. Let's see. Hi, all. Markets red. I'm showing green in my portfolio. Well, that's not too shabby. That's not too shabby at all. Let's see. Interesting slang for Halifax. Hacking darts as in smoking. And you know what? Here's a funny thing, Paul. I'm from Halifax. That's where I was born. And I had never heard of that. Hacking darts. I never heard. But then again, I also never smoked. So maybe it's like a language the smokers have out in the smoking sections of places. I don't know. But I had never heard of that until, like, quite literally, I think the first time I ever heard of that was maybe 5 years ago. And the only reason I heard it was I think I was watching a reaction, an American reaction to Canadian slang, and that one came up. And I was like, what? No idea what that is. Lance had bought the dip on Walmart today. Earnings coming out this week. I'm in a swing trade with Walmart. Got in at 50.14 at the end of January, hoping it goes up to 60 after earnings report comes out. I'm hoping so. I mean, I do think Walmart has a good chance of having a half-decent earnings this time around. So we'll have to see how that looks, later in the week. Paul, funny day. HHIS barely up and HDIV barely down. So in other words, they're both kind of flat. Both, flat's not a bad, on a day like today, flat is actually not a bad thing. Paralovia, I had 90,000 on Saturday. Oh my gosh. And I still haven't even broken 200. 190 is my highest. I gotta say, when you guys are hitting these high numbers, somewhere's in the back of your head, you must be saying, poor Candace. Because I can't get a number. I can't get anything. No, it's not good. Paul says Tesla's unboxed manufacturing process is officially operational and it works. The Tesla team just rolled out Cybercab #1. Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Lance says I decided to start loading up on MSTE today too. I think BTC is close to its bottom before its next leg up. Gonna DCA and buy 50 to 100 per day bi-weekly and see what happens. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Worst case scenario, if Bitcoin doesn't go up and if Bitcoin does decide to fall down towards crypto winter, you'll have more opportunities to DCA. And I think on the other side, even MSTE should look a lot better. So, you know, and I see this in my comments. Sometimes people will, you know, slam MSTE, and that's fine. I mean, you know, I've slammed MSTE a few times as well. So, but I will see people saying, "Yeah, well, I'm going to be laughing when Bitcoin recovers," and you know, and that all translates into strategy and MSTE. You know, yeah, of course you will be. Of course you will be. Let's see. Wahipple, I heard East Coasters call smoking hacking darts. Yes, like I said, I've never heard of that before. Never heard of that before. Like, well, I heard it, like I said, 5 years ago, I heard it on a reaction video, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Oh boy. All right, Scott. This morning on BNN, Tom Lee said he thinks Bitcoin will drop below 50K. Um, yeah, maybe. I mean, it's hard to say. This is the problem, right? It could. I don't think it will, but it could. So I mean, like here, let's go in. Let's look at Bitcoin here for a moment. Bitcoin, I was right above it. There we go. All right. Now, oops, I'm going to try to just shorten this up a little bit. There we go. So yeah, here, I mean, this was a last little thing. Now we're actually starting to form another pattern, guys. All right, let's take a look and see what we got. You know, we could, let's go in here. Yeah, these are orange now. Why are they orange? All right, now this is kind of that interesting one. Like, you're trying to position to hit as many as you can, but right now, you know, this is kind of, you know, and it might need a little bit, but this seems to be where it is moving, which could be very interesting because, let me just take a look here. If this pattern right here, if it were to break to the downside, you know, it could make it down to, well, you know, what's that, 63? So around 64-ish. The other thing is if it breaks to the upside, and this may not be super exciting, it'll just take it back up to about 70. So that's kind of the pattern that we're in. Now, you know, I could probably even, you know, this is a hard one to adjust, but that's probably a little more fair in there. And, you know, we can play with this a little bit. We can watch and see what's going on and see if we can adjust this a little bit. So it'll be interesting. Now, mind you, it doesn't mean just because we have a pattern, like this here is a wedge, descending wedge, doesn't mean we're going to make it all the way down to here. We could easily break anywhere. So we could easily break, you know, in a situation like this. Obviously, the sooner we break, the lower. So in this case here, not the lower, but the higher our low will be. So in this case here, 64 would be the target on that. Up to the top, it'd be just over 70. So we are looking at a little bit. We got 1 minute to the bell, guys. We're looking at a little bit of a break coming up soon. It won't keep this pattern going that much longer. So we'll keep this. Let's keep this up. We'll take a look at this as we move through the week, of course. All right, now, Lance says, I think we need to start spinning from right to left on the coin can as I spin from left to right and can't get over 200. So maybe that's it. I need to spin in the opposite. All right. If we have a show tomorrow, I will spin in the opposite direction. Well, we have we have a show tomorrow. Of course we do. Tomorrow's a Wednesday. We're playing for Thursday. So yeah, tomorrow I'll try to remember to spin in the opposite direction. Perlovia. Ferran had another great day. I'm up 7,000, so maybe selling, then watch it will go to 25. Let's actually take a look at Ferran. All right, I know we're really fast running at a time here. And yeah, just like that, we are closed. All right, the market's closed. No, my watch can stop ringing. All right, Ferran, once again, let's pull up good old Ferran Technology Group. Look at this, up another 6.99%. What a company. Now, I actually got into this one in the 0 to 100K challenge. So, but it's been doing really, really good. Now, the interesting thing is that, this is, of course, they manufacture high technology, high reliability printed circuit boards. This is high in demand. Even with what's going on with AI, this here is not really impacted that much by it because it's not really a software. It's mostly software that's getting hit hard. It's the software components of the bigger tech companies, and the smaller software companies are suffering definitely. I do think we're going to see a little bit of a lessening over the next couple of days. Like I mentioned, the next real big catalyst is going to be Friday. So I think we could conceivably have half decent days on tomorrow and Thursday. We could. I'm hoping. All right, let's see what. Oh, Larry's in the house. Let's see what Larry's up to, or maybe what Bayer is up to, because they're up 6%, 150%. Return eviction company ASPS up 8%, 50% return. DOJE up 5%, 20% return. Those are nice returns, particularly the Bayer. And Bayer, and guys, this is kind of, just to give you an idea, Bayer, here we go. Oh, that's a ADR, but yeah, here we go. Right here, Bayer. So Bayer, and up 6%. Well, actually 6.6%, and that's the thing. Larry's been playing this for a little bit, but yeah, this is what Larry's been playing. This is not shabby. This is not shabby at all. They have been on a tear since about November, and yeah, good old Bayer. Now, of course, these guys are. Everybody knows Bayer. It's a very big brand name, but they're doing fantastic. Lance, Tom Lee has been saying Bitcoin will go in both directions depending on the day of the week. I think Bitcoin has one more dump, but I do think the leg up is coming. Yeah, I have been predicting that we would be looking at one more big move to the upside. So, and I thought maybe one more shot before we go into the winter. I hope I'm right. But, sometimes some of the volatility you can run into can certainly make you question your own guesses. That's for sure. Let's hope I'm right. Lance, you seem to think I am. So we'll go with that for now. And yeah, Larry is mentioning foreclosures up 506% since 2021, up 60% for the year. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, one of the things, a lot of people look at the stock market and they'll say, oh, the stock market's up, so the economy is perfect. It's not. There's a lot of people suffering out there. There's a lot of people who are, losing homes. And just because the stock market's doing great, it doesn't help if you can't meet your mortgage, if you can't meet your basic bills. So there are definitely people out there suffering, 100%. And in this case here, Larry is, making some money on it. And that sounds bad, but it's not. I mean, it's what we do as investors, right? We invest in things, and sometimes, no matter what trade you make, if you think about it, there's always somebody selling it. And a lot of times when you're getting a great deal, that person is perhaps not. They might be fear selling or, things like that. But it's the nature of the game, unfortunately. Ian says, I've heard hacking darts in Saskatchewan, but I think the guy was using it ironically. Oh, okay. There we go. Paul says, I'd buy MSTE for $1. Me too. I'll buy a lot. You know what? MSTE, if it were to hit $1, I'll double my positions, 100%. Larry says, account up 5.5% today, up 68% for the year so far. That's not too shabby. 68% is definitely really good. And there's the Nightbot. All right. And after the Nightbot, I'm going to have some coffee. Okay. When you step out of a swing trade and realize your gains in your taxable account, do you take any of that and put it into RRSPs to offset taxes? I'm putting 33% of my profits in the RRSP. Oh, excuse me. I'm putting 33% profits in the RSP to help with taxes. Brilliant. That's a good move. That's actually a pretty darn good move. Um, I would usually recommend, yeah, if you're doing swing trading and you're starting to pull in a lot of cash, pay attention to what you're pulling in. Know what you got. Know how you, because you're going to get taxed on that, right? Because it's business income. It's 100% income. So, taking, in the case of Lance, putting 33% into the RRSP, you can use that as a tax deferral. Absolutely. Because that's your options. You can either pay the full tax on it, or if it is going to really push you into a high tax bracket, you might want to do something like this. But keep in mind too that, keep track of your losses too, because your business losses. So those trades that don't work out, they're gonna, you can use them and apply that against the ones that are working. So it's always the net gain. So, if you make, let's say you make $50,000 in trades for the year, but you lost 30,000, well, then you only made 20,000, and that's the part that's going to get taxed. So always I would keep a running tally of what you're doing. So, you don't want to get to a situation where you get to tax time and it's like, uh-oh, I I made a mistake. I didn't put away any money for taxes. Yeah, you don't want to get into that situation. Scott says, I got in late, but I'm still up just over $1,000. Nice. That was for FTG. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I think we have very similar opinions on BTC. I think it will trend down until some point in Q3 with one dump down, and I think the leg up starts around the end of summer. Time will tell. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, and we got ourselves a super chat. Gold medal game this week. Let's go Canada. Yeah. Is it the gold medal game around? I think it's around the 20th, right? So yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up. Now I finally did. Well, let's first of all let's just take care of business before I say what I finally did. So this, of course, is our goat squad. Our goat squad is on the run. We got our evil Monopoly goat in the building. Love it. And that does put us one of the way towards Thursday show. Three more, and we do secure that Thursday show. All right. Thank you once again, Lance. So gold medal game. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. So what the snafu, what was it, the last stream? I went and watched. I heard, I knew that Canada was going to play France. So I got down to the YouTube Saturday morning and I saw, oh, Canada France. So I watched this game. It was a truncated version of the game, all boiled down to 20 minutes. And I watched it and I was like, where's Crosby? Where's McKinnon? Where are the superstars? Because none of them were there. But they fought. They got behind, but Canada came back and won 3-2. And so I brought it up in chat, and somebody was like, "What game were you watching?" And well, it turns out we looked at it. Actually, we looked at it on the stream. It turns out I wasn't even watching. I was watching the pre-Olympic game between Canada and France before the superstars arrived. So a completely different game. So afterwards, I did find the highlights of that game. That it was 10-2 for Canada, not 3-2 like the preliminary game. And I got a chance to watch it, and I got to see Crosby and and McKinnon and everybody else. I didn't get to see Suzuki. I know he played. Apparently, he had 3 shots on goal, but he didn't do anything. So I'm like, oh, whatever. But yeah, so I finally did get to watch. Now, of course, the big game will be coming up. I think there's 2 games left, isn't there? Isn't there also a quarterfinal that they have to play, and then the gold game? So we'll see if they're playing. I hope they're playing the U.S. because that would be a sweet victory. That one. Sorry, Larry. I want to see Canada beat the U.S. Scott says, I heard that Kinross got an expedite on from Ontario on one of its projects. Ooh. Yeah, maybe. I didn't hear, I haven't, I was reading something and I'm trying to think, was it Kinross? It might have been Kinross, but I didn't really have a chance to dig that deeply into it. So yeah, maybe. And that's kind of cool. All right, guys, I gave you guys a goal of getting to 50, and we're going to just take a quick look and see if you guys got the 50 likes yet, because I am a little on the curious side, a little on that Oh, guys, we're only at 31. What's going on? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Just hit the button. It's not a hard thing. Actually, it's one of the best ways to support the channel, because the algorithm, it takes that number and it runs with it. It runs with it. So, well, there we go. 31. I know. Thing briefly, like, no, don't come back. Don't become bad Rogers again. Ah, Rogers. Yeah, Punky saying now 32. Nice. And I made it. Hello, everyone. Hey, there we go. Oh, I am so looking forward to. I don't know, this is just a short week too, but I'm looking forward to this week. I will tell you, we got some fun games tomorrow night. So just to give you guys an idea of what to expect. So we're doing the 10,000 sub celebration. You know, you can still come and ask questions. I'll answer. I'm not going to just say, nope, we're having fun. I can't answer your question. Nah, I'll answer your questions. But we're going to have some fun. We got a lot of things. There's a lot of different games. We got 10 different mini games we're going to play. And as I said, I'll have arbitrary points that we'll give out on the games. And the goal is to get 10,000 points in the 10,000 seconds. We're probably, I don't even know. We could be halfway to 10,000. By 5,000, we might be done all the games. And that's fine. I'm absolutely okay with that. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll definitely have a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. That is coming up, as I said, tomorrow, 7 p.m. And 10,000 seconds is like almost 3 hours. I think 2 hours, 40 some odd seconds, 40 some odd minutes. So it's going to be it's going to be a little bit longer stream. But that's fine. We're going to have fun. That's the whole point. Lance says, oh, and after talking about what to add to C-Day, I decided to add Utes and Oily as it's light on utilities and energy, and then I added HYLD and EQCL. Nice. Yeah, nice. Absolutely. I mean, Utes, the big thing I always say about Utes is that, don't add Utes if you're looking for some growth in there as well. Utes is going to be your income. It's just pure income for the most part. I think is Oily in the same boat? You know what? I haven't looked at Oily in a while. Let's take a quick look and see how Oily has been doing here. So this is, of course, one of the newer ones. There was a lot of ETFs that were launched in Wealth 2025, and I actually expect to see more this year. Now you might be thinking, Candace, come on, we're not seeing that many so far. But you will find that ETF launches tend to skew more towards the second half of the year because people are there's just more volume in that second half of the year. So it tends to be a better time to launch ETFs. We'll still get some between now and then, of course, but I think the heavier volume we're going to see towards the second half of the year. But let's pull this one up. And as you can see, yeah, here we are. So they're almost a year old. And I like it. I like it because once they get to a year old, we can sometimes get more data. So something like your management expense ratio, they don't actually even look at that for the first year. They need a year under their belt before you see it. Now, Evolve, I will point out, they usually don't publish their management expense ratio. They just give you a management fee. And there's places, I've seen speculation on what some of the management expense ratios are, but for the most part, that's Evolve. That's what they do. All right, so let's take a look at this here. So I'm just trying to see here if I can get their open. It looks like they probably opened it around $10 because I know it closed on that first day at $9.92. So right now it is up on that launch. And this happens a lot, guys. A lot of times when these new ETFs launch, you'll get this little pump and then you'll get a drop. So that's kind of a normal thing. Now, keep in mind, too, that this is also, it's oil. So, it is very dependent on what the oil market is doing. Now, the oil market this year did have a pretty good, I don't want to say they had a pretty good year, but it was at least a movement to the upside. And we are seeing that after that initial little drop, we've been seeing a movement to the upside. So hopefully, if you got in on this one, if you got in at the open, you're fine. Even if you got in at the top of this peak, you're still fine. But ideally, if you could have got in after this drop, that would have been a great entry point for this one. So we are getting a little bit of movement to the upside on this one. So this is good. This is good. Now I don't know. Just taking a quick look. This is good. This is good news. So looking at the distribution at their yield, 13.463%. Now, why I say this is good is I like my yields to be under 15 because once you start going above 15, you're pretty much looking at aggressive covered call writing. You're looking at the money, meaning that your strike price is pretty much at the spot price. So you're not leaving any real room for upside. Obviously, though, if you're only writing on 33% of the fund, yeah, the other 66% certainly enjoys upside, but it's all part of a picture. It's all part of a big picture for sure. So yeah, this one here, not writing it super aggressive. So I think this one has the potential. If oil is pumping, this has the potential to be a lot like bank, but for the oil sector. That's a good thing about oil. So I do like that for sure. All right. There was our oily tangent. Paul says, unlock Quest Trade Reserve by meeting 2 of 4 criteria over 12. Wait a minute. Why did this fall off? What is going on here? All right. Oh, there we go. It popped back. It's like Rogers, are you having trouble again? That's what it makes me sound like. Let's see. Unlock Quest Trade Reserve by meeting 2 of 4 criteria over 12 months. 250K plus average balance, 250 plus trades, 2,500 plus options contracts, 25K average margin debt. Interesting. I don't know. That wouldn't. I think that's definitely having some issues today. I just noticed that there was a connection issue that popped up on my email. So hopefully, guys, it's very past. And say it there. It's probably Rogers. I'm blaming Rogers for everything today, guys. Yeah, and you see, I'm even having trouble clicking on a few of these things here. What is going on? I'm stuck in a freeze. Uh-oh. All right. I think there's the thing. I don't know. All right. I think I'm out of the freeze. I think I'm out of the freeze. Let's hope. All right. Lance says, but I'm also keeping my eyes on Inti. It's still too new though. Yeah. And I will say this. I really want to love Inti. I want to love Inti. So far, I'm not. The problem is these ultra yields, other than 60, I think they've been kind of disappointing so far. So I don't know if they need to retool some of these, but let's take a look here. So here's Inti so far, and it's brand new. So, it has dropped, yeah, and there's been a little bit of recovery here. So I'm going to see. Now, the problem with Inti is, and I can't actually tell, they got a 26 cent. All right, let's just take a look here, guys. I don't actually know what that yield works out to, but we can work it out. We get a calculator. All right, 26 cents. All right, and that is over 24 payments because they're semi-monthly. And what is their current price? 24.07. All right, so that puts their yield around 26%. So this here is going to be an aggressive one. So I'm not expecting growth on it, but I do want to see that price sort of stabilize a little bit. So that's the one thing about Inti, I will say. It's going to be, it's kind of, I was going to say it's going to be like Utes, but it does have a more aggressive, dividend than Utes. So we'll see how Inti works. You know, I like those a little bit less aggressive ones, but what can I say? Larry, been buying ASPS since 2021, getting in and out, total return over 2,000. 900% of it was options. Yeah, let's actually take a look at ASPS. Let's give me a second here. Let's pull. Come on, there we go. All right. All right, ASPS. Here we go. So this here, Altisource portfolios. And I just want to show you guys, this is kind of, yeah, so you've been playing a lot of this volatility in here. Yeah, and you've been playing it longer than, this is just the 1 year. Let's just go to the 3 year, pull this up. So yeah, you can, with something like this, yeah, there's volatility in there to play for sure. So, you need to know what you're doing to play this because it is easy to also get in here and well, get yourself in a little bit of trouble for sure. But yeah, it seems like Larry has the general gist down pretty good though. Lance, is there a cover call ETF for infrastructure or industrials? I've noticed there are more for Canada's larger sectors. Yeah, there's not a lot of infrastructure. There is, oh my gosh, I think Evolve. Is it Evolve? I think Evolve might have one for infrastructure. Let me just take a look here. I'm just gonna, whoops. Oh, here. Let's go to Evolve. I was like, yeah, I do have Evolve up. Technology, cryptocurrency, enhanced yield, traditional. I thought they had, let's see, enhanced yield, banks, global materials and mining. That's base. Future leadership bond. Oh, I thought that they did. Maybe I might be mistaken though. Yeah, they're definitely. I know that there is a. I'll come back. I know there's a shortage. I know there's absolutely a shortage out there of. Yeah, I don't see any in here of industrial. I think there definitely needs to be more industrial. And I want to just see something here. I'm just going to Google it. You know what? All right, let's just do this. Industrial ETFs. Yeah. Global infrastructure. So yeah, Brompton has a global infrastructure fund. Now that's going to be just a regular. It's not going to be a covered call though. That's the problem. But yeah, here's the thing, Lance. As I mentioned, we're going to get a lot more releases this year, and that's a good thing. So I think infrastructure and industrial, I think they're going to get a bit of love. I think they'll get some love this year. Right now, not really. Now you can. I think there's at least a couple of the single stocks that might sort of move in that a little ways. But for the most part, I think that's an area that is untapped. So yeah, I would definitely like to see that. Ian says, I think Nightbot hid my comment. Nightbot's a jerk. No, Nightbot does not remove any comments at all. Oh, and Ian says, actually, I found my comment. Sorry, Nightbot. Did I miss your comment, Ian? If I did, that's on me. Just put it in again. Put it in again. Your phone is the camera, Wi-Fi crapping out, or just Rogers? It's Rogers. It's just Rogers. Yeah. Lance says, in Inti's defense, it launched when the market started to become volatile. I want to get Inti, but I want to give it a year. I'm still watching Canny. I'm happy with C-Day. I prefer bi-weekly payments. Yeah. And that is a good point with Inti. Like, yeah, I'm just saying I'm not happy yet. But Inti, yeah, it needs a lot more time. A lot more time. Yeah, they did launch it at kind of the worst time. But that happens, and that happens. Sometimes you do have to give a ETF time to sort of get under its, and that's one of the reasons. Like, I try not to review a lot of under 1 year old ETFs. I will though, but the problem is it's really hard to be fair with an ETF if it hasn't got a year of history. And heck, even with a year of history, like there's a lot of these new funds and that just don't have a lot of history. They might have a year, they might have just under 2. I can't wait. 5 years from now, we'll have so much data that it'll be just awesome. It'll be very awesome. Michael's in the house with a hi. All Harvest HIND. Let's take a look. Thank you, Punky. All right. Oh, that's not where I was going. Here's where I'm going. HIND. Let's pull it up. Harvest Industrial Leaders. All right. Is this covered call? It might be. Well, if it is, it's not a lot. The distribution on it's just 6.334%. And is it in the, let's see. Yeah, no, there is covered calls in here on up to 33%. So obviously in this case, and this is something I like. I like these funds that have very unaggressive covered calls. And that's what this one looks like. But this is what you get. You get that growth. So this one, not too shabby. This is not too shabby. So HIND. Yeah, good one, Harvest. That's a good one. I like it. All right. Luke says, I had rotated from tech to precious metals before Christmas. Now I'm rotating back. What do you think of Biggie? Oh, Biggie. Oh, Biggie. Yikes. This is another one that needs some time to mature. And hopefully, I mean, it does have aggressive covered calls. So there is that as well. And this is kind of one of these Ultra Max ones that, yeah, they kind of, you got to look at the fact that technology and a lot of what they're holding has struggled since they've launched. So yeah, this makes sense that they're having that, that they've fallen as much as they have. I want to see this when technology starts improving. When we start getting a rebound in technology, I really want to see what Biggie does. So right now, like, it's just not fair. It's not fair to really judge them at this point. But I do say that they have, and you won't see it here. Actually, you do see it here a little bit. 16.158% total, not total return, but dividend. And that might actually be wrong. And you know what? I just don't trust that number. I don't trust that number. Let me just double check here. All right, so we're looking at 31, basically 31 cents, 0.313. And this one also does 24 months. So that's $7.51. We'll divide that by 1935. Yeah, it's closer to 39%. That's what I was saying. That's 16. I was looking at it. I'm like, that's not right. So yeah, we're looking at a huge aggressive covered call rating on this one. So once again, at the money. And Biggie, I don't know if they're doing 33 or 50% on this one. I'd have to, well, we do have Evolve up here. Let's go in and take a quick look here. Where they're ultra. There's their enhanced, fixed income equity. Oh, I see where it should be. There we go. Come on, guys. Here we go. Bang. All right. Utes Oily Biggie right here. All right. Load it up, Evolve. Bring up the Biggie. Let us see what you got. I will say one thing, though, guys, with Evolve. Sometimes I find if you're trying to load it in Safari, it can struggle a little bit. It can struggle a little bit. So, oh boy, I'm just wondering. You know what? I think I need to, and give me a second here. I'm just going to load up a, there we go. I'm going to load it up here on a, here we go. I'm just loading it up here quickly on a Chrome because then we can get it up a little bit bigger here. So let's see. Okay. Distributions. No, oh, there it is. Okay, it's only 33%. All right, cool. So hopefully, if tech does recover, at least you've got on the 66%, you'll get a little bit of growth in there. But they are pretty aggressive. They're definitely pretty aggressive. All right, let me get rid of that. There we go. You see in this one here, still not loading. And that is just, I don't know what it is. I really should throw that back to Evolve and say, guys, make it more Safari friendly. All right. You read my comment. It was about you sounding like a robot on LSD. I love it. Basically, that Questrade Reserve gets you free Questrade Plus, free journaling and dedicated support, and 2% RRSP matching on deposits. Okay, that's not too shabby. Lance says, I will look into HNID. Thank you. I like C-Day for broader exposure, but I'd like to know what my options are if I wanted to do a covered call ETF per sector. Yeah, nice. Paul, with HHIS being down from Tech AI going down, just drip while the price is lower. Yeah, absolutely. This is a time to be adding to things like HHIS, any of your tech stuff, like, while it's down, enjoy it, because when tech does explode and we get the next big tech explosion, you'll be happy that you've gotten into a lot of these positions. Wahipple says, well, one a year or two, there will be semi-monthly payment ETFs that are more focused towards retaining more upside. That's a good question. I would love to see that. I would love to see a non-aggressive a semi-monthly. So will that happen? I think it will. I think it will, actually. But yeah, we'll do it. Lots of websites do trailing yield. Yeah, and I think that's kind of what we're looking at too. It's doing an average over 12 months, and because it doesn't have the data for 12 months, it gets skewed downwards. So I'm always careful. So like I don't mind. Like normally, TMX is really, really good as long as the fund has the year. If it doesn't have the year of data, then yeah. So, and a lot of times too, I like to look, a lot of times when I'm doing, a lot of times I'll like to look at what it's showing on TMX and take a quick look as well at the, at the website for the ETF as well, and see if they're both in sync. All right. Scott says, is there any way to judge a mining penny stock in its exploration phase looking at KRN? All right, let's go judge. Guys, you guys want to judge KRN? All right, KRN. This is Karna Loot Resources, penny stock, worth 19.5 cents. I'm going to have a drink here before I judge these guys. All right, let's first of all, let's pull up the 1 year. I want to see what we got history-wise. Okay, here we go. We got a little bit of history. So, all right, they've moved up from about 10 cents up to 19. All right, so yeah, we got a little bit of movement to the upside, but obviously, I will tell you right now, if you're judging a penny stock, a lot of this is just mostly noise. It's nice to see that they have moved up. So, but, and also, it's really interesting to sort of see. I like to get a judge for what's happened in the last little bit too, because that can certainly come into play when it comes to some of the back-end data. So let's see what we do have in the back-end data. So, all right, right away, all right, so we don't have any debt. So that's fantastic. So they're doing good without debt. They're not profitable yet, but if they're in the development phase, that kind of makes sense, right? That's you're investing money trying to get things set up until you can eventually mine and then make your money back. So right now, return on equity negative 20.52%. Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. So everything makes sense. Now, where do you go from here? Well, my next spot is usually I'm going to take a look and see some news stuff. See if I can see what is going on in here. All right, so in this case here, okay, they mustn't be a miner. Looks like maybe they do potash. I don't know. I don't know a lot about it, but here we go. Um, so let's see. They're welcoming Canada-India collaboration to secure long-term potash supply. Okay, they're welcoming it. Now, the question I'd ask, and I would go into the story to find out, is why are they welcoming it? Do they have any deals? Is this going to directly impact them? They might be welcoming it because it means that there is potential deals, but I want to know what that's all about. All right, and let's see here. Also in January, they updated their feasibility study for a flagship Wynyard project. Okay, so these are the type of things I would be reading these, taking a look at them, seeing what's going on. Now, another thing I might do with this as well is I might jump on over to Yahoo Finance with it as well. It doesn't have to only be Yahoo Finance, but Yahoo is one that will give me this information that I'm looking for. Whoops, that's actually, all right, so we'll jump into Yahoo Finance. We'll bring up Yahoo Finance. Let's get our KRN in here. KRN.VI. Is that them? That might be them. Let me just take a look here. No, that's not them. I don't know what VI is. All right. KRN. All right, let's take a look here. All right, so yeah, it's not giving me really what they are. So in the case like this, especially because it's a little Canadian company, Carnolite. Let's try the whole name. Light. Let's see here. Carnolite Resources. All right, that could be it. Here it is right here, krn.to. You could also try putting in the .to as well. So I didn't do that, but all right. So I wanted to see if, and all right, this was kind of a shot in the dark, but we've got nothing on a 1-year target because they're just not big enough for analysts to really be, there's nobody really looking at it. Coming down here, let's see if they got any other income. Now here's a little bit more information right here. So their net income, negative 922K. That's actually AVI to common, so that's fine. Their total cash 650K, levered free cash flow. Okay, so we got a little bit of data in here. All right. So we got a little bit now. This is the thing, I think in this case here, I wouldn't jump in. I've seen enough that I don't have a lot of information that I would jump in on this as a penny stock. But I would definitely do the research and the mining, find out what's going on, find out what their path to profitability looks like. It's really hard sometimes to judge it, but sometimes you just got to get into the company, get into the news. I don't even know if Simply would have much on these. That might be another Simply wall.st. Let's just take a quick gander. Why not? All right, krn.to. Oh, they don't even have them. I don't even think they have them. Let's just do KRN. Oh, no, here they are. They do have them. All right, perfect. All right, we got a little bit of more information here. This is kind of nice. This is one piece that's interesting. Their earnings have grown 21.5% over the past 5 years. So they're definitely moving in the right direction, at least earnings-wise. Although that's interesting. So yeah, and for the most part, you can sort of see there's like nothing in here. There's really nothing in here meaningful. Like this is just the risk analysis, and you can pull up all of their risks. So yeah, they don't have a meaningful market cap, don't have meaningful levels of revenue. So yeah, they pass on the dividend because they don't have one. There we go. Are there any concerning? Nothing here. Let's see. Do they have sufficient financial? Yeah, they do have. They do have at least 3 years, so that's nice. No dilution. Their losses have improved over the last 5 years. Okay, so you got a couple little things in here. But yeah, there's also a lot. This is just really a big uncertainty. And that's what makes, a lot of times, that's what makes penny stocks really dangerous, is that you just don't have the information. Like a lot of times, if you've got a company with lots of information, and even if they're a penny company, if they're a penny stock and they still have lots of information, you can make a better judgment. This one is hard. So you kind of have to read what they're doing and you have to kind of make a decision based on that. So if you want to take a chance on them, this is one of those ones where I would be like, play money. This is a play money stock. So I would not put anything meaningful into it. Um, Now, maybe if I dug enough into their information and I found something in there I really liked, maybe that would change my mind. But right now, very leery of this one. All right. Paul says even Quest Trade shows trailing dividends distributions. Mary says, let's get to 70 likes, people. Support the Candace. Yeah, I like that. Here, let's see where we're at. We were at 31 last time I looked. All right, we're at 57. We're almost there. We're almost, oh my God, I'm almost out of coffee, guys. All right. Oh yeah, guys, if you guys want a Thursday show, we are 1/4 of the way there. Right, Larry's gonna be right back. Paul says in the USA, didn't they reduce personal taxes? Will people have tax refunds and put that into the market? Um, Good question. I don't know of the full effects on tax refunds in the States. I heard that they had reduced it for the upper, some of the richer folks, and of course, yeah, the richer folks probably would put it into the market. Do you have a preferred provider for these covered call ETFs? Um, no, I don't think I do. I mean, there's a good amount of companies. There's a good amount of companies out there that management companies that deal with ETFs that I like. I mean, I like Evolve. I like um, Hamilton. I like 9 Point. I like Global X. I like iShares. Um, I don't have a lot of Brompton, but I'd love to see a really great fund come out of Brompton. Well, the Brompton has that good that split core ETF, and that's a nice one as well. So yeah, there's um, definitely, and I think as ETFs become more and more popular, I bet you we'll see some more companies rise. Like look at 9 Point. 9 Point really wasn't into cover calls at all. They only just moved into the cover call space last year, really. Um, so I imagine we'll see more. Like I'd like to see more from CI. So there's definitely a bunch of companies I think that will certainly move more into it. Lance says, I judge the explorers by jurisdiction tiers, the management team, financial situation, and accept that a bit of luck is involved too. Sometimes with penny stocks, yeah, actually, luck is a bigger factor sometimes. All right. Brian says, I like that KRN is in potash. Yeah, absolutely. I think potash it's a good thing to be in, but it doesn't always mean that just because it's potash doesn't mean every company that touches it is going to do well. But it is a plus. I'd give that as a plus. So the standard mineral miners pumped on core samples and slowly eroded to the next core samples. I'd look into Wealthsimple and see if I can throw change at them. Oh, there you go. Um, I'll wait until after you invest, Brian, when the price goes down. There we go. All right. What's your favorite stock right now? My favorite stock. Oh boy. Oh, there's so many. There's so many that I like. I mean, I've got a slew of favorites. I still love both of my Hammond stocks. So we're talking Hammond Manufacturing, Hammond Power Supplies. Of course, I love Bird Construction. I won't waver on Bird Construction. But I also love my royalty stock. So right this very minute, if I could only choose one stock to love, it could be, oh gosh, that's a hard choice. It's a hard choice. There's just so many. Brian says it's London Gold. Well, I do love London Gold. London Gold has been good to me for sure. But I'm thinking long term. If I look at a stock I keep going back to over and over again, um, oh boy, there's also Canoe. Canoe as well. I mean, Canoe has just been a reliable little income fund. And, but you know what? You know what? I'll give it to this one, and let me pull it up. Let me pull it up here. All right. And you know what? I'm gonna go big screen for a second. I'm going big screen because I don't want you guys to see what it is. All right. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull it up. And here we are. It's this one right here. And I'll bring up the 1 year on it. All right. Looking at this, I want to see if any of you know what this is. What stock is this? Drop your guesses in the chat. Jeez, Brian. Yes, Brian got it immediately. Like first guess, not even any suspense. Oh. I just noticed the DIV is right up there. Oh, wow. I just hid this part, right? Oh, darn it. All right. That's hilarious. All right. Jeez. I can't believe that one. All right, that was kind of funny. All right, now, I missed Paul here. NVIDIA and Meta just expanded their partnership. Meta is buying millions of new Blackwell and Rubin GPUs to power their global AI data centers. Huge multi-year deal for AI training and infrastructure. Ooh, that could be good for NVIDIA's stock tomorrow. Of course, next week, guys, we got the NVIDIA earnings coming up on the Wednesday show. Building up the suspense. I know. A Global X Super Dividend. Yes. Actually, it's not that. I don't think the Global X Super Dividend is even that good. Let's take a look. I mean, it's good, but I mean, to be called super, Global X Super Dividend. Here we are. So this here is your Global X Super Dividend ETF. Well, yeah, I mean, it's got an 8.88%, so you are getting a little bit in here. Does this thing actually use covered calls? I have not looked at this one in a long time. I will tell you that right now. Receipts, global securities. Yeah, no, it doesn't. I don't think it actually uses covered calls. So in that case, 8.88 is actually not that bad. So this is kind of cool. Now this is, by the way, this is an American fund. I just want to point this out. But yeah, let's take a look at the last year. So yeah, since Liberation Day, it has done pretty well. Plus, you're getting a pretty big dividend. So this, guys, is one to put in your RRSP though, because otherwise you're paying 15% withholding tax on that dividend for sure. Or was that your guess, Lance? Top left corner. I know. Oh. All right, Rob says precious metals is falling hugely today because JP Morgan wants to reset the low price. Meanwhile, Asian markets are closed for the next 10 trading days and cannot prop the price upwards. Well, I'm not going to go quite that far. I don't think JP Morgan is resetting the price. I don't subscribe to that, Rob. I don't subscribe to. All right, Enbridge is my favorite stock. I like the Daymax covered call. Enbridge is a good stock. Enbridge is a really good company too. Let's see. I knew it was div, but wrong div. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Brian says, I didn't even see the div. I just knew the stock price and that you throw your change at it as well. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. And Brian says, I just start getting into div as well. Meta spending money means their stock will crash. maybe it could be, maybe it'll hurt Meta, but be okay for Nvidia. It really depends on. It really depends. Meta is in this really unique spot. They're actually because of the ads, all of the ad revenue they got coming in, and a lot of that is AI powered. Um, I this might actually still go over well for the Meta holders, so it'll be interesting. And the wonderful Mary wants to know why Div. Um, Now, for me, I guess. Oh, and this was S Div. Let's go back to real Div. All right. Div has been one of these stocks I've held Div for like a very long time. And here we'll go back 3 years. Let's go all the way back 5 years, so you can sort of see. Is Div perfect? No. I mean, look at this. They certainly respond to the market. So this here, actually, where is? Oh my gosh, you know what? We have to go more than 5 years now to see this is what I'm looking for. This right here, this of course is the pandemic. So they fell big time. So going into the pandemic, I mean, this is a stock that was up around a little over $3, and they responded well. They got back up pretty fast. They recovered pretty well, and you know, they've always been reliable. Like, they have a pretty high dividend yield. They're an inexpensive stock. Now, this big movement to the upside recently is because they acquired another royalty. So this was Chuba Hut, which is it's actually a cannabis company. I don't know exactly what they sell, and I keep meaning to look. Actually, you know what? Let's find out. Let's find, because I keep meaning to find out. Let's find out. Chuba Hut. All right, let's see what these guys actually sell. Well, that's not what I was expecting. Toasted toasted subs? Okay. I was thinking like hemp products or stuff like that, but apparently toasted subs in a cannabis-themed restaurant franchise chain. Okay. There we go. I really don't know what to say about that, but yeah. So anyway, they bought this, and the beauty is they don't have to do anything. And this is why I love royalty companies, because they just bought the royalty on it. So every time new Chiba Huts open up, they get paid. They just get paid. So this is just a quick old revenue stream that, just keeps on going. Whether the times are good or bad, it doesn't matter. They got this revenue stream coming from a company like this one here, Chiba Hut. So it's actually a restaurant. Okay, I was thinking something a little different. But that has been very good, and that's been kind of the thing. Like royalties, they're just one of those things. Like, it's just free money in many ways. Like, a lot of these companies have very low upkeep because all they do is they buy royalties, and then they get paid. They just keep on getting paid. And they hold some good ones. They've got Mr. Lube. So, and every time a new Mr. Lube shop opens, they're getting money. They've got Air Miles, although Air Miles, I don't know if is Air Miles even still a thing? That one might be kind of but they got Jack Astor's, that's another restaurant chain, and they'll add more somewheres down the line, but it's been very, very profitable, and that's one of the nice things I like about them. All right, and Lance says, yeah, I thought the div you were looking at was Global X Super Dividend. Do you want me to buy Meta so that you could buy a good dip, Scott? Now, Scott says, you think Meta makes more off of ads than Google's? It didn't help Google when they announced more AI spending. No, it's not so much that. It's not so much that. I think it's, we'll watch both. We'll see what happens. But yeah, no, Google makes a lot off of ads as well. I mean, you got to look at Google. You've got both. Well, here's the thing. This is the thing that worries me about Google. And I will say this, like, YouTube is doing fine, but the regular Google search engine, I don't know. I think a lot of people are just getting their answers straight from their AI opposed to going to Google. Now, your AI might use Google, which is another interesting thing, but it's kind of an interesting thing. And it was actually funny. I was talking to Jill the other day about AI. So there's a whole controversy about OpenAI saying we want to use ads. And I was just saying, well, why do you need to use ads? Why not just use affiliate links? So, if you go to ChatGPT and say, hey, can you find me some good priced sneakers? Bring up sneakers, but make sure you have affiliates links with everybody. And then if you pick, like, let's say you pick one that comes from Amazon, then ChatGPT would get paid based on that. So I was thinking that would be a good way for them to make money. So that would be a really good way. All right. Let's see. Scott says I would suggest selling Meta and buying back cheaper. There we go. If you buy HHIS now, you save 21% from 1 year ago. And let's see, go back to 2008 and look at what happened to Div. Okay. I don't think I've looked at Div that far back. Where are we at? Right here. All right, let's go further back. Nope, I got to go really far back. 2028. Here we go. Let's see, where is 2028? Well, interestingly enough, though, and here's the thing, though, Lance. This drop that we're seeing here, that was back in 2006. 2006, there was this, and we don't know what this means. I would actually have to dig into the company more to find out, because sometimes there might be some explanation for this here. It's like, what, a U-shaped recovery? But no, they recovered. Yeah, I mean, obviously something happened, some kind of stressor to the downside. I don't know what it is. I haven't looked that far back, to be honest. I tend not to go, and I like zooming out, but I tend not to go more than 10 years because it's kind of one of those things where, you just don't. To me, it's not as relevant. It's not as relevant unless I'm looking for really long-term macros. But for the most part, I'm not super concerned about back then. Yeah, and Scott says, is Div real estate heavy? Well, yes and no. I mean, they don't own any real estate, but they, of course, receive a lot of royalties. So from restaurants, of course, restaurants have real estate. So, once again, though, this drop happened well before the financial crisis. The financial crisis started right about here, because it was September of 2008. So yeah, they were already down. Like, they were well down before the financial crisis, whatever this is, and I don't know what this is, because this is just a 20-year. So it'd be interesting to see what's on the other side of this. But this only goes back 20 years. Let's see. Pizza. Yeah, PZA. They're also a royalty stock for Pizza, and they've done well. Yeah, absolutely. I did sell out of Pizza, but I do like them. There's also, there's a Boston Pizza one as well. There's a lot of different royalty ones. A lot of people love FRU. That's another royalty one. That's pretty cool. Now, this one is in for, basically, they hold oil and gas royalties. So freehold royalty. And just to show you them over the last year, even holding, and that's the thing. Even if oil and gas doesn't do super great, it doesn't matter for these guys that much, because they're still getting paid. And that's what royalties are like. That's one of the reasons I love royalty stocks. All right. Paul says, we will find out in the next 7 to 10 days what Harvest and Hamilton are doing with distributions, up or down, at least the monthly ones. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Guys, oh boy, we're at that 1 hour, 30-minute mark. So I'm not going to take this one much longer than this, because I'm going to be back here at 7 o'clock tonight. So, all right. So we did not keep the Financial Express moving. It looks like it has died. But here's the beautiful part. This is kind of a weird thing. If it dies before it basically means that we can restart it again on the next Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So we can restart it tomorrow. So we technically may not miss a day, but it's one of those things. All right. Lance says, how often will they adjust monthly distributions? Quarterly? How often will what, Div? Um, I don't know how often they're going to adjust their monthly distributions. They change. I mean, and let me just see here. Oh, we're in freehold. Let's go back to Div for a second. It's not so much that they adjust them. It's more or less they do raise their dividend from time to time. So let me just pull this up. So yeah, so you can sort of see right here in the last, actually in the last, basically, yeah, this is 10 months. In the last 10 months, they've raised their dividend twice. So their dividend was at 21 cents, at 2.1 cents. They knocked it up back in July to 2.3 cents. Then they knocked it up to 2.4 cents back in December. So yeah, definitely. Paul says, I do not like pizza. Their crust seems like cardboard, or that particular location overcooked the bottom of the crust. I will say this, pizza, I think they use way too much salt on their pizza, because it's kind of like you eat a pizza and your mouth tastes it for sure. All right. Oh, and Lance drops in a gifted Mountain Finance membership. Who won? Dushawa. Oh, I know I mispronounced that. But yeah, congratulations. Thank you very much. It does release our TSX goat. So we have our second goat released. We're still short two. But we can do it again. We can do it again tomorrow. That's not a big problem. Brian says, I don't eat their pizza either. I just take their money. Oh, I don't eat their pizza either. All right. Lance says, I meant covered call providers. Someone mentioned they will be announcing the upcoming distributions for Harvest and other providers. Yeah. They open it up pretty so yeah, like I get pretty much, it depends. So sometimes, like some providers will come out and they'll announce their distributions for maybe the next 2 or 3. So you will sometimes see that happen, but for the most part, a lot of them will just do it month to month, announcing what their new distribution is going to be. So, Harvest pretty much sends out an email. I think Hamilton sends an email out as well. I get a few of them that come into my box, and yeah, but when you're thinking about rebalancing, so rebalancing is a different thing. Rebalancing is, what's the word for it? Some of them are quarterly, some of them are annually, some of them are semi-annually. You can usually find it on the page. Like a lot of times it will tell you how often they rebalance. Just seeing if we can get an example of this. Here, let me take a look. Poopadoo. Not Chiba Hut. We'll just grab, actually, I want one that's a little older. This one might be older. Let's grab it. Let's see what we got here. I don't know who I have. All right. This is just regular Harvest. Okay. Oh, this is HHIS. I want an older one. Oh, well, we'll go with it. We'll see if we got the information here on this one. We'll take a look. A lot of times they will tell you how often they rebalance. All right, this is giving us a breakdown, but let's just see here. Modest, maybe. I've seen it all. This is just not a good one to go with. Let's see here. Let's go with a Global X. You know what? Let's go with GLCC. There we go. We'll go with GLCC. I think we should hopefully be able to find it on this one. All right, here we go. All right, GLCC. Oh, we're on GRCC. All right, well, why not? GRCC. Distribution monthly. Oh, let's see. What is this one? Oh, this one holds a bunch of, what is this? The Global X G allocation covered call. All right, I don't think I even know this one. I actually want to go to GGC. I want to go to All right, GL. All right, let's try this again. GLCC. Here we go. GLCC. Bang. All right, there we go. All right, now let's see if we can find this in here. I've seen it from time to time. It's not something I'm normally looking for, though. I will say that. Rebalance, currency, trading, outstanding, premium, distribution, frequency. All right, let's just see. You know where it probably will be? In here. All right, management, duplicates charged. Okay, just bid on the fees. That's interesting. I am not seeing it anywhere. Let me just try the product sheet. All right, now I need to pull up the product sheet. It actually was one of those ones that you download. All right. Now, at least I think it is. Where did it go? All right. Well, this is not... Let's try this again. Yeah, it went into my thing. All right. Let me see here. Oh, there we go. It was underneath my sharing button. All right, top holdings, portfolio metrics, average coverage, average money. Okay, dividend indicative yield. Guys, where the heck is your, yeah, this one's not showing it, but I have seen it. I think Evolve, Evolve is hard to get into. I think Evolve shows it, but yeah, it is something that should be listed somewhere. I just don't know where on this particular one. I believe Evolve, though. Let me just, actually, you know what? I've got Evolve right over here. Let me just take a look here. So this here is US Ultra. Oh boy, biggie. All right. Let me just see here. I don't know if this is going to tell us how often, because I don't know if they know how often. But we'll take a look here. We'll see distribution, management, inception. All right, you know what? Let's try. It's like, Candace, sometimes you bite off more than you're expecting to bite off. And I was like, I thought this was an easy question. It's not an easy question. Where's my products list? Here, let's just drag this bigger. I want, guys, oh, let's scroll all the way up. Oh, got it. It's underneath that. Oops. Products. Let's go to bank. Now I'm like, who did I see this on? I was pretty sure that I saw it somewhere. All right, let's see here. Active cover call, bank. All right, number of holdings, 10. Let's click that, see more details. Huh. Let's see. Yeah, this is not telling me anything. Darn it. There's at least one of them, guys, that does have it. So let me find out if there's an easy way that we can find out when these are being rebalanced. But I think a lot of them quarterly or semi-annually, a few of them annually. So, but yeah, that's how often. Like, you're never going to get one that's rebalanced on a monthly schedule. All right, holy banana bread. Now, while I was all off on La La Land there, we get Scratch in with a super sticker. Nice. So that releases my favorite goat, Space Goat. Awesome. I love this one. I could watch Space Goat all day, I'm pretty sure. All right, and thank you very much. And let's see here. Somebody be a hero. Ring those phones. Yeah, it's like one of those things. Yep. Nobody will get my reference outside of Saskatchewan. Well, no, like, I think if you ever watch the Christmas Daddy show, which is in the Maritimes, but they do a telethon to help kids at Christmas, and they're always like, you got to ring the phones, folks. You got to ring the phones. And we got Abby in with a super sticker. So, all right, Thursday show was in the books. We would have just done it again tomorrow, but that's fine. You guys came in at the last minute and got everything all taken care of, and that That, by the way, that's our math goat. Our math goat. So we got full goatage. Is that a word? Well, it is today. We got full goatage. We're doing good. It sounded like a pledge drive for public broadcasting stations. There we go. Ring those phones is what they used to say on Telemiracle. Good old PBS. No rest for the Candace. I don't get rest. I never get rest. Isn't GLCC a mess? I don't know. Harvest Tesla Enhanced Cover Call ETF has been 25 for a long time, way before the price went up in September and peaked in December and then back down, but higher than when Elon bought 1 billion of Tesla. Nice. A big enough pledge, you'll get a Monty Python library. Ooh, that would actually be kind of cool. Come and see the violence inherent in the systems. Help, I'm being repressed. There we go. Most funds rebalance on a quarterly basis, but their distributions are revised each time they are due. So a monthly ETF would announce their distribution once per month. Yeah, they can be revised depending on the ETF and how they do it. So yeah, absolutely. That distribution can definitely be. But the rebalance is like what they're actually holding. That's kind of what we were talking about. And, oh, Paul, Sim with a $1 super sticker. That releases the seasonal goat. And currently, well, that's our curling goat. So, you know, win some gold. Obviously, our own curling teams aren't really doing it yet. But maybe the goat can. Maybe the goat can. When was the last time someone watched a telethon? A long time. When did Jerry Lewis stop? I haven't seen one. Yeah, he used to have the Labor Day weekend one. I don't know. Did he even make it into the 90s? I'm not sure. Cheating curling goat. I know, double touch. the goat double touched. What can I say? All right, guys. This time I am on the way out. We're at 1:42. I'm back again at 7 o'clock. We're gonna have we're gonna have our chill office hours. So that's for the channel members. Everybody else, I'll be here tomorrow. We will have our market close, and then tomorrow night is the big show, our 10,000 sub celebration show. I can't wait. That one's going to be fun. I've been dreaming. That's how much. Actually, last night I dreamt I was doing that show, and I kept looking at the clock, saying, "What? How many seconds are left now?" So yeah, that'll be tomorrow. Tomorrow will be big day on the channel, so cannot wait. Until then, guys, I do got one thing I wanted to say here before I leave, and that, well, that's bye-bye.